going to go ahead and use this one. I was going to use a different one, but I think I'm going to use this one. So what I have for the jars, now this is, I think this was an olive jar, probably olives or pickles. I'm not sure. I try and save my jars. So I'm going to do this one first, and then I'm going to just do another one, and I will take it out of the water now because I want to show you what I did. So in a perfect world, I would have gone to the store and got a brand new bottle of jam, but it's workshop week. And do you think I've been to the store at all? No. Okay, so what I did is I went to my fridge and I got my jar of Smuckers because this was my vision. And I have it soaking in here. And what I did, I took off most of the label, but I've just been soaking it in this warm water. And then I take my transfer tool and just scrape off any of the sticky stuff. So I put it in there one more time just so I could get the last of this little sticky stuff and just show you what I'm doing. Let me get my bucket of water out of the way. So ideally, you would have a new jar because we're not gifting anyone a used jar of jam, but I just wanted to kind of give you the idea of what it could look like. So the Smuckers, this was just a sugar-free Smuckers, if you're wondering like what kind it is. And the label came off pretty easy. I soaked it in some hot water and then I just scraped it off the first time. And then now I got most of the sticky stuff off. So I'm just coming again and scraping off the rest. And I'm just showing you this now because I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to let it sit here for a minute while we're doing the other jar so that it's nice and dry when we get to the other part. But the transfer tool is great for this because it just scrapes off the rest of that little gunk. And then I just have my handy dandy rag to just get it all off. So I'm just going to make sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm going to have it just sit over here while we're doing the first one so that I know it's completely dry. Elizabeth says alcohol wipes when you're down to that glue. That's a great idea. I have some of those. They're in the bathroom. Pam, that's a great idea. She'd love to see a craft on a sparkling grape juice bottle. Maybe next week. I think I have that jar too. I love that. I think we'll be doing a lot of jars, not a lot, but I think we'll be really focusing on jars this month as I go through the tutorials because they're so easy to recycle. And for this one, I am going to be using the sticky paper again. Hopefully I remember how to use it this time. I'm going to be using it to help us with the lid. And then I'm also going to be using it to apply the label. Now, y'all have to remind me because I am already having a brain fart. I'm going to go ahead and just cut out the square. I got to remember face down or face up. That's the part I messed up on last time. I think it's face up, right? It's only been a week and I've already forgotten. All right, so we're going to take our sticky paper. This little section I have here should be enough. And we are going to peel off actually, I'm going to cut it down so I'm not even working with, because this stuff sticks to everything. Cindy, I get the sticky paper from Amazon. I do have a link. Myself. I removed myself accidentally. Let me click over here. I have it linked on my favorite things post, which if you're outside of the live at the top of the page, it will have that. When I get done with the video, I can go in, I'll go in and edit the link as well. So on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, which I don't think anyone's on YouTube, but it will say, oh, here's why I can't see comments. Hold on. Ah, there we go. I'm like, I can't see comments over here. Look, now it works. Now everything is working. Yeah, so I will come back and I will add the link into the description. But yeah, I get it from Amazon, and it comes, I think it's, yeah, 10 sheets. And so far I've only used, I think, 1 sheet. But the catch is to put it on the sheet correctly. And this is where my brain's like, meh. But I did it face down and that was the wrong way to do it. I'm pretty sure it's face up because what's going to happen is we're going to stick it on here and then we're going to peel off the back. So it should be face up. So you peel off that yellow. I got to get up here where you can see. I just peeled off the yellow. And so this part right here is the sticky part, which I'm trying not to get stuck to. There we go. I have a little piece of straw from last night that is now trying to stick to my sticky tape. Like this stuff is super sticky. Think like mousetrap paper. Like it's sticky. Okay, we got it on there. All right, so now we're just gonna put our design on it. Pam, a clear contact paper would probably work. I've never worked with that. So we're just gonna put it on there. And it doesn't have to be exactly like right here, the sticky is coming over the edge. That's fine, as long as we get all the design on the sticky. And it looks like I might have missed the very tip of my little flower here. So I probably should have had that lined up better, but that's what I get for trying to use a scrap piece of paper. But I'm gonna get my smaller scissors. Again, this is why I do it, so you guys can see all my mistakes and then you don't have to make the same mistakes. So from there, we're just going to cut out around the edge of this design. And what I love about this, because the sticky paper is definitely going to be a part of my arsenal now, especially for printables, because for me, this is a way, I'm able to use way more of the printables, especially the smaller ones, because you're basically turning it into a sticker. And then we can just seal it and we're good to go. This is going to take me a minute to go all the way around, but let me know in the comments, have you used the sticky paper before? Did you buy it since we did it last time? I was so excited about the sticky paper for this month's printables. I'm not even going to lie, because I struggle with the decoupaging the printables. And it could be just me because I've seen a lot of you that do amazing things. There's one lady, I can't remember her name. She sends us, she'll do like a whole bunch of months worth and then she'll send us the pictures. And you can't even tell they're printables. And she does them on everything. I've seen her do them on candles. I've seen her do them on baskets. Like she is just does amazing things with the printables. So I've been trying to challenge myself to keep coming up with more ideas that we can use these printables for, because it's such a great value to be able to have them and then download them and then just have them at your disposal for whatever comes up, whether that's ministry gifting or ministry classes, or you need a gift for someone, or you want to make a card. And because they're by theme, you can just pull up whatever theme best fits your whatever you have going on. Okay, so when we get to this edge here, this is where I didn't get any sticky on the edge of that edge. So I'm just going to cut it down to where the sticky is. So that one little tab right here is going to be a little bit shorter than the others. In fact, I need to go a little bit shorter, but we'll come back to it. I got to get around this one first. Deborah says she bought it. I just love it. And I'm so excited to be using it with these jars. I think that was Elizabeth Bucci's idea. She's like, I'd love to see it on jars. And I was like, you and me both. And then I went in a panic through my drawers because for the most part, I saved jars. And then I think there's been a couple times that I was like the last few jars, I was like, oh, I already have plenty of jars. And I put them in the recycler and I didn't save them. And then as I was looking for a jar for this project, I realized I don't have that many jars. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, this one here is the one that I didn't quite get to the edge of the sticky paper. So we're just going to cut it down the teeniest amount. And no one's going to know. Only you ladies that were here. All right, so now basically this is a sticker. So figure out if your jar has a seam. This one doesn't. Oh, it does. Just kidding. All jars probably have seams. So I just want to make sure that that seam is in the back. And I am going to place it here on the front. So this is kind of, it is like a wide mouth jar, but if you made like cookies are small enough, you could fit cookies in here. Or even if you just bought cookies, you could put cookies in here. You could fill this with, I thought it would be cute for, I think there's a seam on both sides. Okay, just kidding. There's a seam on both sides. Seam on both sides. I was also thinking, again, if I got to the grocery store, which I did not, I've seen a bunch of crafts for 4th of July where they're layering like red, white, and blue jelly beans. And then you could do that and it could just be a little centerpiece. Like how cute is that? All right, so here's where we get a little bit tricky. So I'm going to use my scissors to keep the jar from rolling around on me. I'm going to take a deep breath so I can get this straight. Let me move it over here a little bit for you. So the key is going to be to get this sucker on here straight. So the first thing that we have to do is we got to separate the back from it. And on some other ones I've done, I've actually left a little tab to separate it. Of course, I didn't do that on this one because I was chatty Cathy. And I don't have my glasses. All right, we're going to get it. Hold tight. Here we go. You just kind of got to get an edge. Sometimes it is easier if you leave like a little tab around the design to separate it. But it's like a sticker. You know how some of them are hard to catch the edge. And so you just peel it off. And this is now your sticker. Yeah, Cindy says leave the seams to the side. I will learn, ladies. I'll learn. Okay, so this one does have like a little lip right here, but I also want to leave some room at the top because the top I'm going to do is going to come down a little bit. So I'm just going to try and get it straight. And then just like we do on the decoupage, you're going to want to work from the center and then go around to the side. And then that's how easy it is to put it on a jar. Now we can fill this with any fun things we want, but we're not just going to leave it like that. Here, I'll kind of put it up here so you can still kind of see it. It wants to run everywhere. All right, well, it might roll away. Okay, I also wanted to use the sticky paper to stick my fabric to the top of this jar. So I'm going to get another sheet out. Cindy says same on either side. I'm not sure what that meant. But for this one, what we're going to do is I'm going to use the jar lid and I'm going to just go around. I did kind of butt it up to a corner here, so I'm trying to maximize the use of my, I don't know, bigger scissors or smaller scissors are better for this. I'm trying to maximize my sticky paper because I do have 10 sheets, but now this doesn't need to be perfect because we're just using it to stick the jar. I'm going to come inside the line a little bit because I know that line went around the outside. Again, I'm not the best scissor cutter, and it's also hard when you're on a live and you're a little bit nervous. Sip, sip. It's going to be fine. All right, so for this one, I'm going to leave a little tag that I'm going to cut off later. So I just left like the smallest little bit here. And I didn't leave the edge, which would have been smart. I swear. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Okay, so there we go. I'm pulling off the top. And I'm just going to center this on my fabric as best I can. And I can cut this off. I don't even know if having that really did anything, but now you don't even need this to stick it on the top of the jar. The reason I'm doing this is because I have found when I try to do jars like the way I want to do them, I can't get the fabric to stay where I want on the jar. And I've used glue before and it leaves bumps. And so I didn't want to do that. Now this is the first time I've used sticky paper on this, so we'll see if it sticks. Yeah, it's sticking. Yay! So you can just see it's on there right there. And then again, I'm just using it to make the fabric stick where I want. So when I do the outside jute, it doesn't move around on my jar. Yay! Again, so I've done jars in the past, but when I use the glue, like you can see the texture of the glue underneath the jar lid, and I didn't like those bumps. Hey, Kelly Jean. So now we have the fabric stuck on there. Perfect. So now we can put our lid on and our fabric isn't going to go anywhere when we do the jute around the outside, which is what I'm going to do next. So I've got this scrap of jute here that I'm going to, maybe I want to use that raffia too. I think I am going to add some raffia. So now I don't have to worry about the fabric kind of going all the places. And I think I'm actually going to do it upside down. Oh, someone told me before to use a rubber band. Do you think I grabbed one in here? Nidia, yeah. Can you bring me a rubber band? Yeah. See, I've got assistants. Someone else, I forgot. I'm just remembering now. They're like, use a rubber band. And I'm like, oh, so smart. And then I forgot. Thank you so much. All right, this will make it easier because if we put the rubber band, which you could probably do without the sticky as well, but then that's going to hold this down and then we can do the jute without any issue. So I don't remember who that was, but thank you. So from here, I'm just going to pull the fabric all the way around to make sure I have all the edges that I want. I don't remember who told me that. Was it you? Was it you, Elizabeth? I feel like it might be. But now we've got like the nice little edging here and we don't have to fight it. Now we can put the jute around here. And I'm going to do a few wraps around. And I'm actually going to turn it so that I'm ending in the front. Hold on. All right. I had to adjust it a little bit so that my edges were not coming down in the middle of my well done part. Because I do like to make the bows and stuff a little out to the side. And I'm just adjusting the rubber band so that it's all tucked. There we go. Okay, now we can wrap. And this is just a scrap string, so I'm not actually sure how much I have. But it's just going to be as much as you want. Did you see that? I almost lost my jar. All right, and then I'm going to tie it here in the front, and I've got way too much, but that's fine. And for right now, I'm just going to tie a knot because I'm going to do like a little like jute and raffia bow. So I can leave myself some strings. That'll just give it extra little strings for right now. So this is what we have right now. All right, I am going to grab some raffia, but before we do that, I'm going to paint my little, I'm going to get Usually I have, oh, here we go. I'm like, usually I have scrap paper or something. I'm going to paint my little strawberry, and I am going to use, y'all, I'm lost. I want to use the transfer as my guide because honestly, I don't know what a strawberry looks like off the top of my head. All right, so I'm going to basically mirror, I'm going to copy like what they have here. So I've got my green, I got green, I have red, and I have black. And I do need a piece of paper, and this is a little glossy, but it's what I have to start my markers. So I think I'm going to use the red first. Will you be sealing the sticker on the jar? Cindy, I would. I'm going to do a spray because my hands are, I have a heavy hand with the Mod Podge. But yeah, I would, just because if it gets wet, it is going to have some issues. Oh, I have not used this red yet. Oh, I might have not just used this end. This is the thicker end. All right, it's coming. It's deciding. All right, so I just want to make sure it doesn't go all crazy with the paint. All right, so we're just going to paint the strawberry. And these are the Magi paint pens. And I'm going with the red first because I can come over the red with the green. Also, we do have extra strawberries and lemon, like pears. I have not put them on the site, or I have not put them up for members to get, but they're going to be available to members. I've got to get them on the site if you want extra ones. Because so cute. Why would you not want? Okay, so then we have the green. So I'm going to do the outside first. And then this scares me a little bit because I've got to do a little bit of freehand, but it'll be fine, right? I could draw. Okay, so let's see. We kind of got like, I don't think really we can mess this up too much, but I'm like my own worst critic, so. All right, we're going with that. I'm not gonna mess with it, but I feel like it's not too bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are fun. I might be telling my husband we need more fruit cutouts because yes. All right, so if you don't have the transfer club, this is another option if you have the kit to paint your strawberries. All right, and then it has little yellow seeds. I'm going to do, or little orange seeds, but I'm going to do little black ones. All right, y'all pray for me because this could get crazy. All right. Just going to do little black. I'm not the best at like random because I like to make everything kind of symmetrical. All right, leave it alone, Melanie. I think we did it. Okay, how cute is that strawberry? Now, when you use the paint pens, you'll know once it dries, the paint kind of comes in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just come back out. I don't want to touch the black, but I'm going to come back out and just hit the edges again because when it dried, it just pulled in the tiniest bit. So I just want to make sure that the edges did get covered. And then we're going to let that dry over here. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I kind of want to do like 5 more. Oh, no problem, Cindy. Cindy says she's going to catch the rest on replay because she's got to run. Okay, so now we've got, this is what I'm going to use for like the center of my little bow. And then I wanted to print these out on cardstock, but I didn't get that far. I want this other sheet of labels. Where's that? I know I got two. All right, hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna use this one. I'm gonna get the sticker paper again. Oh, actually, this one has lemons, and I should probably be using strawberries because I've got strawberry on there. So I'm gonna do this little thank you one. I think these would be so cute for like neighbor gifts, or like when people move into your neighborhood and you know they're new and you usually give them cookies or something. Like you could put something in here. You could fill this jar with anything. And I have cardstock. I would just print it out on cardstock, would be easier. But I forgot I moved my shelf. Hold on, I'm gonna get a little cardstock tag. See, I get organized and then can't find anything. All right, I've got to scooch my computer again. I have these little cardstock tags that they're already done, but I just need the cardstock backing. Kelly Jean, the printables are going to be for members. You're going to get them on the 1st. So they'll come through with your membership because I don't have a way to send them early without recharging you. So look for them on the 1st. I know it's hard to wait. Well, this side doesn't have like a thinger. All right, so we're going to do the same process that we did with the other ones, where we just peel off the back so that we can get to the sticky part. We're going to stick. What just happened? All right, that left the sticky on this side. So what the heck? Don't mind me pulling my little things out of the trash. It's fine. All right, so if that happens to you where it comes off on the part that it's not, just stick it to whatever side didn't come off. And again, I would just print these on cardstock, but I just kind of want to give you the full picture. So I'm going to make it work. I probably shouldn't even have cut it out this because I'm going to have to cut it out again. So I'm going to stop doing that because I'm just going to have to cut it out again. All right, so I'm going to stick it again. This stuff sticks to everything. I know, Kelly, the waiting is so hard. All right, so now we're going to separate it. And because it's separated on the wrong side, it's funny because I swear every time I use these, I come up with more challenges. So if it happened to me, it's going to happen to you. So I'm glad that it happens. All right, and then I'm just going to stick it to my cardstock. I just need it to be a little bit thicker so that I can attach it to the jar as a tag. If you just use just the paper, it's going to be really thin. And you kind of want some substance to it on the jar, you know, as like a tag, as a gift tag. These are not the scissors. These are not them. Also, small plug. These are Guggenheim scissors, and I will tell you, they're totally worth it. They have specials that happen all the time. I saw them on a Facebook ad, and it was kind of a splurge for me for scissors, but I might wait till they have like their deals, but totally worth it. I have to hide them here in the drawer so my son doesn't use them. All right, there we go. Just straighten this one out just a little bit. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in it. With my handy dandy hole puncher. You want to make sure you go down enough that you're going to be able to hang it. And then we're good. All right, so we've got our tag, we've got our little strawberry. Now we're going to come back and make our bow. All right, I was going to use my Bodabra, but I can't find it. Just kidding. Here we go. And I am going to grab some raffia for fluff. All right, so you want that to put the tag in there, whatever you're going to tie it with first. I'm going to do the raffia, I think, on the front. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of a thicker piece. And like most of my bows, because we're doing small projects, I generally just keep it to the width of the Bodabra, maybe a little bit extra, because we're not doing like a super huge project. All right, I'm going to tuck that tail in there, and then I'm going to go in with the jute. You could put some scraps in here too, like some fabric. You know what? I think I'm going to add some too. Should I? I actually don't think I have many colors that'll work right now because we've been sending out all the pastels in the workshop week kit. So I'll just leave it. All right, we're going to take our tags, our little ties, and just tighten it really good. Give it another tie. Zhuzh it up. Now for me, I like the pieces that are cut to come down on the bottom. So sometimes you have to like pull them out, get them the direction that you want to go. This tie is a little bit longer, so I think I'm going to use it. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm really OCD about how the tags hang. So I'm going to put it on its own string, and I'm going to glue it to the jar so it hangs where I want it to hang. Is it just me? Like when I get done, I want everything like just so. So we'll just loop it through, tie a knot. It doesn't need to be super long because I just need enough to glue it where I want it to hang. Ah, Kelly says go for the fabric. I think I don't have any good colors back there. I think I have a lot of greens. I'm trying to stick to the red. All right, so we've got our tag, we've got our bow. I'm going to snip these. So I'm going to do the bow. Actually, I think I'm going to do the tag first, and then I'll do the bow, and then I'll put the little strawberry on there. So we're just going to, did this thing die on me? Yes. Why, Lord? Okay, we'll charge it while we're doing that. Fully charged last night. Turned it off last night after the live. Dead already today. All right, we'll switch to do the other one. I'll come back and do that one because we have this other one. Where's my tag? All right, let's do our jam jar. While that's heating up. All right, just getting that stuff out of the way because we don't need it. Okay, so this was my vision. Get a jar of jam, even like a Dollar Tree jar of jam. It doesn't have to be anything special. And we're going to use the sticky paper. And we're going to use one of the jam jar labels. So we have got, now obviously you probably wouldn't want to have made with love if you didn't make the jam, but that's totally up to you. But I like this Fruitful Servant jam. And so I'm going to use that one. Let's see what is the other color of the other one. Because we have it in two different colors. All right, so we have it with, these are two different patterns. So you've got the stripy or you've got the checkered, and then two different versions of the strawberries. Now, if I made the jam, I would probably be using one of the Good Fruits Made with Love. So we're going to loose cut it first. Same thing. We're just going to be using our sticky paper. And for these, you could probably use one of the borders too. Let's see if it wraps around. Do we have enough to wrap around the whole jar? We do. So you could use the banners or the borders too. All right, I'm going to try to stick near the edge this time so that I can get that edge to peel it off, because I seem to be having issues with this. All right, so I'm making sure I have that edge to peel it. I just think, like, for me, I always struggle with like neighbor gifts. For example, on Mother's Day, like my neighbor got me like this whole kitchen Mother's Day, like the little like silicone spoon and like the little, what do you call it? The glove, so you don't burn yourself. And like, I struggle with what to get people. And with this, I'm like, I could buy jam at the store and put this on it, and it's just a little something extra, but it's just the sweetest. So I'm just cutting right along the edges. And I'm giving up on having a little tab to pull it because I don't think that's helping me. It helps me the first time. It doesn't really help me the second time. So we just cut out our little label. Now, if you wanted to do something on here, you could take, if I haven't used these much, where did I put them? I was thinking stamps, but again, I got all organized. I say that, but did I really? You get so organized, can't find anything. All right, I have the little stamps. I think these are in my favorite things too, but they're like all the little letters. So I am just going to do something simple like blessings, because I just kind of decided to do this last minute. So let's hope I can spell blessings right. Oh, Kelly has a great idea. Aldi's has gourmet jams. Perfect for this. Love that. And I love my Aldi's. So yes, that's where I will be going. That is a great suggestion. All right. So I'm just, you could put their name in here. You could put anything. You could put from whoever it's from, BLE. All right. That was a little light, but I'm not doing it again because you know I'm going to mess it up. So, again, this is just an idea. S, S, I, N. Gotta find G. You could put a Bible verse in here too. All right, so that's just if you've used stamps on it. You could also use the stamps for the smaller tag too, like the ones that don't have anything on them. All right, that doesn't want to close. I'm gonna do my glue gun now. Wouldn't you know, here in the charger, it says it has three bars. I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another this week. I'll swear. It's one of those weeks. Now you could do the top of the jar the same way that we just did the other jar too, which is probably what I would do. So it looks like a little bit more fancy. All right, if you have a sharp corner, it's easier to get off. All right, so that's our sticker. And then we're just gonna put it on our jam jar here. Right over where the other label went. Now this jar had a little border at the top, so if I was going to do it again, I would make sure I get it under the little lip. So mine kind of went above the little lip, and you can see it's wrinkly right there. So keep that in mind when you're doing it for yourself. This is actually going to go back in my fridge, so I'm not that concerned about it. But yeah, if it has a lip, make sure that you get it under that little lip and it will lay flatter. But how fun will these be for gifts? Like, I think this is such an easy Christmas gift. You could even put it in a little basket with some other, you know, little breads or crackers or charcuterie fun stuff. Okay, let's see if my glue gun is ready to report for duty. I just love that for gifting. So fun. Let me get an off glue stick. Glue stick too. Put something between the sticky side and the paper, maybe like a plastic knife, and then you can take it apart. This is a good idea from Deborah. All right, glue gun is deciding to work. We're back in business. I love that. Cut it off, hoping you can take this and make a sense out of it. Yes, yes, I get what you're saying. Like, stick something in between it. Like, even another piece of paper would work. Again, I have to keep playing with this because this was new to me as of last week. So I just keep messing with how to do it or how to make it work a little bit better. And I think I learn something every time. So I'll probably keep messing with it because it is my favorite. It just makes it so easy. All right, so again, oh, teacher's gift. These would be great for teacher's gifts. I know school's out, but all right, I'm just gonna bring that little tail around because it wanted to go up, the little tail from our thank you tag. So I just kind of tucked it back down. All right, so we've got our little bow on it. And now we can just, we're gonna be a little bit more generous with the hot glue right here because this is a bigger piece that we need to stick on here. Okay, so there we go. So stinking cute. Again, I would make cookies or do candies in here. You could do little chocolates, Hershey Kisses. You could put anything in this jar. I love those that make things at home that suggested different things. So this is our first little jar. And then again, this is just the jam jar with the label. If I was going to gift it, I would do the top the same because it's just so easy. But that's using the printables and the sticky paper in a couple different ways for the Fruitful Servant theme. Again, I would spray acrylic spray, at least just the sticker part of it. There's two different kinds. There is a gloss and there is a matte. The one I have is a matte. So with that, I may want to outline this so that it's only really, I'm only spraying like this part, but it depends on how picky that you want to get. But this is just two ideas of what you can do with the printables from this month's club. And then again, these little thank you tabs could go on anything. And again, as just a reminder, I would print them out on cardstock. If you print them out on cardstock, you don't have to go through that whole process we did with the sticky paper. If you don't have cardstock though, you can just use the sticky paper and do it that way. So how cute are these? Who's going to make some jars besides me? Because I'll be saving every jar now because Christmas is coming and these are going to be so easy. And until next time, which is hopefully tonight in the workshop week group, happy crafting.